Hi there, I am Christelle from Diabetes Strong, and today we're going to talk about how I rotate my insulin injection sites. So if you manage your diabetes with insulin like I do, it is really important that you pay attention to how you rotate your sites. So it's important that you made a dedicated effort, and it doesn't matter if you're a pump or if you use insulin pens or syringes, you still need to rotate your sites. The thing is, if we do not, we can build up a lot of scar tissue, and that built up scar tissue can compromise the absorption of the insulin that you inject. So, important stuff. Rotating your insulin injection site simply means not injecting your insulin in the same place over and over again. And the good news is there's actually plenty of places on your body where you can inject insulin. Insulin is meant to be injected into fatty tissue. So most of us use our belly for that, but you can also use your love handles, kind of the side fat. There's also your thighs, your inner and outer thighs, so the fattier parts. You can also inject on the backs of your arms. Just make sure you don't inject directly into the muscle. Some people also use their lower backs as well as their upper glutes or their backside. As long as you can squeeze a little bit of fat tissue between your fingers, you can inject. I manage my diabetes using insulin pens, so multiple daily injections, or MDI. That means that I inject a basal insulin and I inject rapid-acting insulin for all my meals and all my corrections. So that's a lot of injections throughout the day. My rapid-acting insulin, I currently use something called Humalog. I usually take that, inject that either in my stomach or on my arms. So for example, I squeeze a little bit of fat here. I try to rotate that throughout the day by going one, and then my belly here, here, and then simply rotate it clockwise. That works for me. It's not super structured. I would love a more structured way actually, but that's the way I do that. My basal insulin, I inject that in my lower back or my upper glutes, so my butt. That one I'm actually a little more structured about, so let me show you. This is my site rotation sheet. That's what it looks like after just over a month of injections. And I'll explain it because it doesn't really make a lot of sense like that. But every little mark here indicates an insulin injection. You see the numbers, it's just the sequence that I take the insulin off. So I have 6 different sequences. Each has 6 marks for each sequence. So that means it's 36 injections, so just over a month. So that means that when I follow this process, I won't inject in the same place twice for 36 days. So let me just show you what the idea is here. So the way I draw it up, let's say like that, is that first thing is this is sort of the bikini line or the panty line. And again, it's my backside, right? So if you imagine like a pair of granny panties, they look like that. Okay, so bear with my creativity here. And then we have our legs, right? So the thigh comes down, thighs come down here, okay? And I just do the line up front. But that's basically what we mean, right? And then that means L for left, R for right. Pretty basic here, right? So I'm not super artistic. I usually start here, so that's why I put down a 1. So that simply means that the top of my bikini line, that is where I will start my injections. So let's say that this morning, or let's say a few days ago, I took it there. I would just put a mark there saying, okay, I already injected there. Next day, I'll inject on the left-hand side, right-hand side, left-hand side, right-hand side, left-hand side. That's 6 days. After that, then I move to my second area and I repeat the process. And that's simply how I do that. So I inject, pretty much around the bikini line on my backside. So that would be my lower back. That would be sort of my glutes. And then I inject as well down my thighs. So that's number 6. So that's where I sort of end up. So upper thigh, and then I simply move down the thigh again. So very simple, very low tech. Just
put down a mark for every injection again. Means for me that I get through, 36 different injection sites, and for me it works. I haven't had any issues with lumps or significant scar tissue.
So this is very structured, but it's also very low tech. Again, it's a notepad. So I bring this with me when I travel. I put this with my insulin. When I'm at home, I have my insulin in a drawer. It just lies there next to my insulin pen. And that way, if I inject, so for the longest time, I was just trying to wing it, right? So I would inject and I was like, oh, I think I remember what I injected yesterday. No way you can remember 36 injections, okay? So just doing something as simple as this. And let's just do a screenshot here so you can see it a little closer. That's what it looks like. Just by doing something as simple as that, I can keep track of my site rotation, making sure that I'm not injecting in the same place over and over again. So that's how I do it. Let me know how you manage your site rotations. I would love some tricks for, the upper arms, for the stomach, that doesn't require me to hold around a whole notebook. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.